All right, welcome back. We have with us Dr. Laurell Matthews, and she's been here before talking, and I'm interested in what you do because I like alternatives to things.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Instead of just a pill for everything, you know, I've got medical issues, and I try to balance what I do. But there's certain supplements I like to take instead of the prescription medications.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. If you can cut down on how many prescription medications you take, then, you know, if we take too many prescriptions, there's more likely to be interactions.
Right. And the thing that I don't like is when you get a prescription medication, they print out a book. And they said all the contraindications of taking that or the side effects of taking this. You do one thing to help your situation here, but then you swell up here.
Don't take it if you're on something else.
So by taking something more natural, those problems don't occur or alleviate.
And that's what I do. I'm a doctor of naturopathic medicine, so that's a doctor that specializes in natural medicine, things like diet and lifestyle and herbs. And because if we're eating a good diet, where our medications are going to work better or our herbal medicines are going to work better. You know, if we have just a good foundation, we're going to, you know, just be all around healthier.
Now, you brought an herb today with an ugly root on the end of it.
I did. I have been, you know, herbal medicine is a big part of naturopathic medicine, but I have been...
Does it really work, though?
You know, it sure does. It's not quite as strong as the drugs, but it's gentler, but that can be a good thing because the two herbs that I brought today are some very gentle ones.
Okay.
And there's very few reasons why anyone couldn't use them.
Okay.
And they work. They might take a little bit of time to work, but I'll tell you about them.
Okay. All right. Let's move this
So this right here, many of us will know this is dandelion.
The dreaded dandelion.
I was going to say that's a weed I pull out.
It's a weed, and we have the leaves and we have the root, and both parts.
And that's why it keeps coming back because you don't get that part of it.
I got it, but yeah, this is a great medicinal plant, and both parts are medicinal. So we use the leaf. You can actually eat these leaves.
Really?
They're a little bit bitter. Would either of you like to try one?
Sure, I'll try anything.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll try it.
There's a
Can you cook them, or does that take some of the good nutrients out?
You can cook them. Now, these are a little bit bitter, and one reason why you'd want to eat these leaves...
I want to see his face, right?
One reason why you would eat these leaves is they stimulate digestion.
Oh,
that
cool.
bitter taste... It gets our digestive juices flowing.
I just got hungry all of a sudden.
Well, it could have worked. It could have worked that fast, and so it gets our digestive juices flowing, especially those in the liver. It gets the bile flowing in the liver.
Yeah.
And what bile do is it helps us digest fats in particular.
Right.
Now, dandelion leaves have another important attribute. They're a mild diuretic. So some people will make a dandelion leaf tea, or buy dandelion leaves in capsules or different things along those lines. And
I got to go to the bathroom.
So, but you could really if you knew exactly that this was a dandelion leaf, you could supplement if you were having trouble with your
elimination.
Well, I'll tell you what people use them for. Yeah, they use it to increase urination, but why you'd want to do that is it can help with mild high blood pressure because, you know, sometimes the doctors will use a diuretic drug to help with high blood pressure. So this will be a mild herb that can help a little bit with high blood pressure. It also helps with edema when we're just collecting too much fluid in our body or like things like gout or, you know, arthritic conditions where there's a lot of swelling around the joints.
That's a good point.
Yeah, very good.
And then the root, it has a slightly different attribute. The root is used to support the liver.
Okay.
And there's an old tradition. People would chop up the root and they'd sort of roast it in a pan and make a tea out of it. And they liked it roasted because they claimed it tasted a little bit like coffee. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
But you have to make a tea or, something like that out of it if you wanted to dig it from your yard.
So you probably have to set it out, dry it, and then grind it.
It'd work better that way. You
water.
can also make a tincture out of it, and if you ever wanted me to come on your show and show your audience how to make an herbal tincture, I'd be happy.
I think that'd be cool.
Tincture. Yeah, that's an herbal extract.
Cool.
An herbal concentrate.
We'll want you to do that for sure.
Yeah. And so why you take the dandelion root is mostly for the liver. The dandelion root is a great liver herb. Again, it gets the bile
and it helps the liver, kind of builds the liver. There's so many prescription medications that you look on there. It says it makes the liver work more. So, but when that happens, then it kind of depletes the function of the liver on a longer term basis.
Not particularly. The liver is very tough, but the liver can
it works a lot.
Can use a gentle herb like dandelion that's a little bit of just a liver tonic. Is good for a sluggish liver. And why you'd want something for a sluggish liver is like skin conditions. Like women that have a lot of acne can often benefit by doing something for their liver, because by getting the liver acting, you process your toxins better, and getting the toxins better clears up the skin in some cases.
Cool.
So
all right.
There's a lot.
You're just a wealth of knowledge. Now
and what is this other?
So I brought some elderberry syrup. I made this elderberry syrup just a few weeks ago. I'd been around a patient who was sick, and maybe I was starting to come down with something, and I was like, I'm craving something. I'd taken my echinacea, my vitamin C. I'm like, I'm missing something, and I usually have this around, and I was out. So that very day, I made some elderberry syrup.
Okay.
And that's what you were craving.
Yeah, that's why I was craving, and I didn't get sick.
When you say that, when you say your body's your body's telling you, does it mean that it needing something?
I think it knew. I use elderberry all the time. Like, I'm not going to be caught in my house without elderberry.
Yeah. Well, why would I crave like waffles on Saturday?
Well,
oh goodness!
Now this is a separate topic, but carbohydrate cravings can have other meanings, and they're usually a false lead.
But this is good for your immune system.
But this is good for your immune system, exactly. What elderberry does is it can help keep viruses like the cold and flu viruses from being able to invade your cells.
Okay.
So that's why I will
Everybody ought to take it then.
Exactly. And so it's great for this time of the year when the seasons are changing. We're not out of the woods when it comes to cold and flus. I've been hearing a lot of people getting the crud still of various kinds.
Now, do you make this for people?
I don't. Right now, I'm just making this for
yourself.
For myself, but it was super easy. I actually had some dried elderberries that I'd bought at a health food store. Because it was so dry last year, it was a poor elderberry harvest. I put it in a pan with a little bit of water, and I chose xylitol as a sweetener because xylitol is a sweetener that's safe for diabetics. And I have a little sample in a glass here if one of you would like to try some.
Sure, you want to try that? Because I want to see you spill it on your white shirt.
I think it's delicious. It's a little bit concentrated. I'll often add a little water to it to water it down.
Tastes better than the dandelion leaf.
Yeah, it tastes really good. There's even a tradition of making elderberry wine. Some of the Arkansas wineries make elderberry wine.
So you get health benefits from your wine.
The elderberry wine probably does have some of those health benefits. And like red wine, this is full of antioxidants, just like red wine is. And another thing about elderberry is it helps some people with their allergy symptoms, and that's because it helps reduce inflammation.
Cool.
Okay.
And it also helps the immune system a little bit, and it's an inflammation modulator, which means that if the immune system is being overactive, it tones it down, and if the immune system is being underactive, it gives it a little bit of
helps
boost.
to regulate then.
Well, I can see where the knowledge that you have would help somebody if they're having a certain problem. They can, you could probably pretty well get to the root of the problem. There we go.
Well, I definitely do have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. It's like I just try to work with people where they are, whether they want to focus on diet or whether whether their budget's minimal and they need to be going and digging their own dandelion because that's what they can afford to do. I just have so many different ways of approaching health conditions because I've just been studying
But
this for so long.
you can also write prescriptions for normal medication too.
Well, actually, not in Arkansas.
Not in Arkansas.
Not
okay.
in Arkansas. Yes, in many other states, doctors with my degree can, and so I don't do that, though I do work in conjunction with Dr. Lawley at Harrison Optimal Health, so for some of her continuing patients that still need prescriptions.
Now, you come over here, is it
Tuesdays.
I come over here on Tuesdays
okay.
and show up at Harrison Optimal Health out on 43.
Yep.
We're out in the country, but it's a beautiful place to work.
Yep.
And I don't know. The number there is 870-741-9596.
9596.
If you've got a reason to want to talk with Dr. Laurell, you can do that by calling that number. It was on the screen there earlier. And we thank you for coming by. We'll ask you to come by again. Maybe what was the word that you used?
It's called a tincture.
A tincture.
We might
now,
maybe the modern term is an herbal extract.
I like tincture. I like tincture better.
Tincture is a great
word. I'll be using that
yes.
word all day today. Thank you very much, Dr. Laurell. Thank you so much for driving over today from Rogers and Fayetteville area.
You're welcome.
And we'll come up with something really neat and cool the next time you come.
I sure will.
Thanks so much.
Thank you to all our guests today,
yes.
too. We're out of time.
We are completely
We're
out
over
of time.
time.
We are. Sorry about that. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks here in the Harrison 726 show. Thanks for watching.